Welcome to the second Life as Usual. This, if you didn't know, would be the second channel for our main channel, Life as Usual. In this channel, I talk more often than I do on the main channel, and today I do mostly no work, it's just talking. Recently, we have been struggling with the L405, the 3-liter. I was supposed to release a video on the new project on the main channel, but I didn't because this car has kept me occupied for multiple days and there are multiple delays. I feel that as soon as I put the new project on the RAM, this car is gonna get very jealous and it's gonna go, it would want to go on the RAM again. Something I have learned from the past experience of the 3.5 months working on this car, I have kept this car on the RAM for the whole duration. And what I've learned from this is that was a dead space, dead area. And if I want to learn from this, it would be once I am completed from the project, for example, if I'm removing an engine, if I'm working on a car, as soon as I finish removing the engine, for example, or transmission or whatnot, I should remove the project car outside so I can have space on the RAM for a different project cars. Because remember, I don't just work on this 3-liter, I also have another Range Rover and I have other cars that really, this one has been occupying most of my time. After completing the previous video, when I said, hey, the car is ready and good to go, the first thing we need to do is tax it and put Emote. Now this is done in the UK because obviously we live in the UK. For the people outside the UK, Emote, think of it as a test that you need to do to verify that this car is road worthy. If you don't have that, you cannot drive on the road, okay? So I didn't manage to do a lot of miles on this car. However, I did book the Emote and I rushed to get the car ready, but then it got cancelled on me last minute. But that's okay, because while I was getting the car ready, if you see here, this is how we left in the last video, yes? Unfortunately though, between the last video and now, everything been disassembled and been put back. What happened is I received an error while driving the car on the private road and testing it. I received a charging fault, and that was due to, well, it could be due to the battery, the main battery, the auxiliary battery, or the charging unit, which would be the auxiliary, not auxiliary, what's it called, Alex? Alternator, that's it. So what I did actually, I went through the batteries, I replaced the batteries, and the fault didn't go. I replaced the second battery, the fault didn't go. I checked all the cables, and the fault was still there. I cleaned the cables, and the fault is still there. I took the alternator out, I reconditioned it, and the fault was still there. However, if you remember back in the days when we were working on, on our driveway, when we received the delivery of the car, we discovered a fault here with the fuse box, and the fuse box has melted. Remember, it was a fire and it melted and it damaged the fuse box. And that fuse box, if you remember, we have replaced it. And if you remember the story, after replacing that, only then we realized that the engine had knocking because we couldn't turn the engine, we couldn't turn anything on till we fixed that. After that has been repaired, obviously we worked on the engine and so on. So I went back on the electricals here, I traced the wires, and I realized that one of the plastic, some of the pieces of plastic actually melted down on one of the wires and actually damaged the wire. And because of that wire, guess which one it was? It was coming from the alternator, telling the computer that I am charging. So in theory, the car was charging, but it wasn't telling the computer that I am charging. So the car was confused whether are you charging the battery or not. So what I did is actually I spent 2 days on all of the wiring loom here, all the cables. I bought a new wiring loom and I was supposed to replace it, but it was just too much work. So I spent on all of the wiring loom over here, spent 2 days, and I was going through each and every individual wire. I was making sure that it's not broken, and if it was broken, it received a new sleeve, a new connection, and it was wrapped properly with a lot of equipment that I purchased, and it was expensive stuff, but at the end of the day, it came back to genuine. By the way, all the repairs were as per the workshop manual, so it wasn't just dodgy job or anything like that. It was all per the workshop manual. And after fixing all these cables, guess what? The charging fault just disappeared. So that problem was fixed. Now we were ready to go on Emote. On the way to the Emote center, I realized that when I received the car, it didn't have a locking wheel nut. So at that point, I realized that, oh my God, I cannot just go to Emote center like this without wheel nuts. And I have been driving the car without wheel nuts. So I did the following. I purchased new wheel nuts. They look like jewelry, don't they?
Shiny.
Shiny. Yeah. Now, if you notice, there are 4 missing because that's all what I needed to get the Emote sorted. If you will look at the wheels here, you can see these are the old ones. This is the new one, shiny. Okay? Yeah. Well, the idea was supposed to put the car back on the ram and replace all of them, which I will do. So the car will receive all new shiny wheel nuts. It's not going to be just one wheel nut. Just if you're interested, I don't do half a job, you know. If you're curious, this was just temporary so I can get the Emote sorted. My Emote got cancelled because they had an issue with the machine. So my whole schedule got scrambled and I didn't know which video I need to upload and which video I wasn't going to upload, and it was all a mess. But regardless, I'm still happy that didn't happen because I'll show you what else the car has developed. So as you can see, the car was ready in the back and it's all good to go. But I've disassembled a lot of parts, which I will talk to you about it in a bit. But the deployable tow bar, let me show you, it's here. This deployable tow bar, it decided to go faulty on me. And all of a sudden, I'm receiving a loud beep in the back. I tried to reset it from the buttons. By the way, if you didn't know, Range Rovers have deployable tow bar, which it folds in and it comes out, okay? And this time, I thought it was the computer that is faulty. However, after doing a lot of tests, and I skipped the module and I put direct power into the deployable tow bar, what I discovered is the gears that moves the tow bar in and out, actually, it didn't sound right. So what I need to do, which I haven't done so yet, what I need to do is remove the rear bumper, remove the whole system, and fix the tow bar. But to be honest with you, I'm not in a rush to do so because it still works. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's locked into the opening position. Yeah. So rather than having deployable tow bar, we have now a just fixed tow bar, just a standard tow bar. And to be fair, I'm not bothered whatsoever. So I may get to it in the future and fix it, or may not, because it doesn't bother me. And if you didn't know, this one has electricals here, so we can put the bikes and connect the trailer and stuff like that. So that's good. So everything is still working. It's just the fact that it doesn't fold in and out. I'm not bothered by it. So you may wonder, what else is going on here? Why you have so many things? Let me show you what the car has also developed. All of a sudden, the reversing camera doesn't want to work. So how do you remove the reversing camera? There is a trim over here. It just pops out. And then there's a trim here that pops out and you get a cable like that, okay? And the camera sits here. Now, I looked online. I was like, oh, come on, let's just replace the camera. It doesn't matter. We'll go to Land Rover and get it replaced. Guess how much it is? Do you want to guess, Alex?
£100?
No. More.
200.
More. Double it.
400.
More.
500.
It's close to £500. It's close to £500 for a teeny tiny, where is it? Yeah, it's here. For a teeny tiny silly camera. No. Just I want to say something, £500. The engine didn't cost me, well, it did cost me more than that, but I'm just saying the crankshaft cost £1,200.
Yeah.
And this camera is £500?
Like almost just under half.
It's not, okay, so listen. The camera is easy to come out in and out. I don't need a genuine one. I can go for the aftermarket, okay? If it does break down, the aftermarket one, that's fine, I can get it replaced. I couldn't find an aftermarket one. Guess what? This camera, okay, is different than all of the Range Rover cameras that I actually, in the newer model, the L405. Usually, the plug is on the top here. However, this one, just this car, they decided that the plug should be on the side. I think it's the earlier model, 2014. The plug is on the side, but usually it's on the top. So if you just search L405 Range Rover, all of the cameras, they come with the plug on the top. This one decided to be on the side. So what I did, I kept researching. And then I finally found the right, well, maybe the right camera. This camera. So I open it up, and it's supposed to be for the Evoque, not the big Range Rover, Evoque. Evoque, if you didn't know, is the smallest Range Rover, the smallest one, okay? And I found a camera for it on Amazon, and it was like next day delivery. So I received the camera, I look at it, it looks exactly the same. Hooray, we fixed it, £55. Let's put it in. I put it in, and I connect everything. Wow, this is extremely high quality. I put the trims back and everything, and I'm so happy, I'm so excited. I put reverse, it works. But it was upside down.
The image was upside down.
Image was upside down. And I didn't realize, I'm like, what did I do wrong? So I go back to it, it goes one way. And then I go on Land Rover, and I Google some how the Evoke looks like. This camera is fitted this way, Alex. Yes.
Yes.
So its camera fit this way. The Evoke camera is fitted this way.
Oh.
So it's literally the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
So this one is programmed to view the angle like this.
Yeah.
But what I had it is like this, because that's how it fits in this car. So it's viewing this way. So I tried to pre-program it because everyone's like, oh, you just can program it. I asked some people, they're like, just program it, I'm like, no, you can't. So I tried, and no, it doesn't get reprogrammed. So now I'm in the way of ordering another one, and it looks like I'm gonna have to pay something expensive, or maybe I'll find an aftermarket one for £100. I want to say 120, 150 pound. Maybe I'll find an aftermarket one for 150 pound. I'm not too sure at this point. So nothing has been resolved. And all of this time, I'm just going back and forth with trying to fix this car. At the same time, I was trying to get the new project car, release the new project car video and get you all excited about the new project car. But this is why you don't see a video today on the main channel about the new car. It is an absolute mess. I'm telling you, as soon as I put the new project car on the RAM, this one is going to get jealous and it wants to go on the RAM. But so far, I know it's a lot of complaining. I know that. But so far, should I say it?
Yeah.
I think I've been falling in love with this car.
It really is nice.
It's a very nice car. I'm not going to lie to you. So yes, it's not legal to drive on the road, by the way. So I've driven on a private road, and I went to the Emote, or I was going to the Emote. So I've driven just a little bit. By the way, in the UK, you are allowed, as long as you have insurance, you are allowed to go to the Emote center. So you're allowed to drive it to the Emote center, and you're allowed to come back from the Emote center, okay? So during that trip, okay, I actually fell in love with the car. It's a very nice car, isn't it?
It is.
Is it more comfortable than the L322? I mean, we'll leave that on another video, but
yes,
it's very interesting opinions we've been having, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, our impressions
Yeah.
are very,
Now, this is not our, by the way, L322 is the oldest Range Rover I've ever had. Okay, we've had much younger Range Rover, so one of the newer ones. But we've lived with the L322 for so long. The change from the L322 to the L405, I should say, is shocking.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not gonna say in this video because I'm still putting my thoughts together, okay? But just for the fact that I can do this, okay? Is this a negative? Is this a positive? I can't tell. I can't tell.
Yeah.
I can't tell, okay? We'll leave it for a different video, but you know, guys, I'm sorry I'm not uploading another video on the main channel. I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's just me talking a lot and not working at all. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please make sure to like and subscribe for future videos. If you don't, then that's what the main channel is for, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.